Welcome to the Princeton Podcast, where we talk about upcoming events, news, and local businesses. This is Princeton. Play here, stay here.
Before we get started today, just a reminder to subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. We're also recording on YouTube, so be sure to subscribe at This is Princeton MN.
Today's podcast is brought to you by Princeton Public Utilities, and I'm Zach Kitzman here with Mary Patnout and Kim Young. But before we introduce today's guest, Kim is going to get us up to speed on the upcoming events around town.
All right, good morning. So we've got coming up here on March 17th is the All-City Choir Concert at Princeton High School. If you've never attended that, it's a lot of fun. They have choirs from 6 through 12, I believe, all in one night. So you get to see all the talent. On March 18th is a JO volleyball tournament at the middle school and the high school. That's a big event coming to town. Whoop, whoop. Mary's one of the volleyball coaches, so she's excited about that. March 25th, Northern Nutrition is having a craft show at their store from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. They're located on First Street by Minuteman Press and in that Book and Bible, that little strip there. And then on March 25th, the Civic Betterment Club is having their spring tea and silent auction and quilt raffle, and that's going to be at 1 p.m. at Trinity Crossing.
Most Americans get their electricity from large corporations that care more about turning a profit for their stockholders than taking care of their customers. But your community is served by a different kind of utility, a utility you own. Today, more than 2,000 communities across the country get electricity from public power utilities like yours. We're community-owned and not-for-profit, so we make decisions with you in mind. And we give back to our community because we live and work here too. Public power puts the power in the hands of the people. So speak up. We're eager to hear from you. Stop by a city council or board meeting to share your views.
All right, welcome back to the podcast. We would like to welcome our guest today from Sunken Brewing Company, Teresa Smith and her brother John Smith. Welcome to you both.
Why, thank you.
Thank you.
How are you guys doing today?
Doing well.
Great.
Yes.
Great.
We are so excited to have you guys today, especially for the products that we get to test today.
And we've got our Sunken Ship swag on
yes,
today.
Yes,
Yeah.
looking good, looking good.
Love it. You guys have to stop in there and get it. I love my sweatshirt. It's so comfy. So let's get right into it. Tell us your story. How did Sunken Brewing Company come to be?
Go for it, John.
Well, okay. Let's see. I was out on a vacation having a little fun. Teresa called me up and said, hey, I got a great idea. I want to start a brewery. And it took me about 2 seconds to say, okay. So that was actually the start of it. Once we got back, we started looking around and we went on a search on how we were going to do this. It was brand new to both of us, and we brought it to our family. We have a big family from the area here, and out of that family, we got another brother, Jeff Smith, and his wife, Lynn Smith, that agreed to do it too. So we set out on a quest, an odyssey, you might say, to open a brewery in the area. Our family has loved breweries. We went to them all the time, and we just loved the atmosphere inside of those breweries. Everybody was so friendly, just so happy to be there. It's a really neat crowd that really tends to hang out in those breweries. We started our odyssey trying to find a building, a place that we would go, and that odyssey ended up in Zimmerman, Minnesota, where me and Teresa are from, and my brother Jeff is from the Princeton area. So in Zimmerman, we worked our way through the city council. We located a location, and it was quite a quest finding out through lawyers how to rezone and what water requirements were and everything that goes along with a brewery opening up in a town, which is new for a lot of towns, and a lot of towns work their way through it. We had it rezoned. We had a purchase agreement on a property in Zimmerman, just north of the Holiday gas station. There's an old lumber yard. So we had visions of grandeur inside this old lumber yard, what we were going to do. We had a lot of designing work done. And then this little thing called COVID came along. And we're like, yeah, COVID, no big deal. We kept pushing along to get our dream opened up. And then they shut down the state. So we immediately said, whoa, what is COVID? So we ended up backing out of that purchase agreement when the state was shut down. Just wondering what in the world it is and what's going to happen, and thank God we did. It would have been near impossible to get a brand new business started during what we went through. In the process of stepping back from the purchase agreement, somebody else came in and purchased that property from right underneath us. So we were back in the market again, looking around for a place to call home. We happened to locate the old shipwreck place on the south side of the town of Princeton. We were able to purchase that. In the beginning, contrary to all the social media that was flying around with the Chick-fil-A coming to town, we
Always something.
we came around to the idea how we would make a brewery work in that building, and we worked through the city. The city was very open to the idea. They helped us every step of the way get this business up and running, and it was just a project from them to where it is today. So it was a project that took from 2018 in the winter until January 30th of last year.
July 30th.
To get it, July 30th,
Yes.
sorry, to get it up and running.
So I have a couple questions. How did you mentioned that you received a phone call
Yes.
from Teresa,
Yeah.
want to open a brewery. How did that come to be?
We've just always loved going to breweries. We loved like John said, the whole atmosphere and everything, and there was nothing like that around here, nothing in this area, and we thought that it would be great to have something up here like that for people to go to, because there really wasn't anything, close to this.
Right.
So I just thought that, all the kids were out of the house and empty nest and needed their project, something to do, and thought that this would be super fun. Fun for the whole family, because everybody in the family was super supportive and, wanted to see us succeed in this too, so.
That's
it's been
very cool.
great, yeah.
And being able to have the vision to turn that was it called shipwreck?
Shipwreck.
Yeah, into what you've turned it into is really amazing. And I know, talking with Lynn, that you guys did a lot of shopping at antique stores and
Oh,
trying to
yeah.
find things. And did you just kind of go with the name because of the building, or did you already have that in mind? Or?
No, we had a list. We had a list of names that we were going through, and it was kind of we all got together one night, and we were at John's house, and he had this whole PowerPoint presentation on how we were going to do something nautical.
Wow.
And how it would be, easy to tie things into it, and bring the whole feeling of that into the. So we were going back and forth over names, and all of a sudden Lynn just threw out, because he wanted to do like a SS, like a kind of like a Gilligan's Island.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like SSBC, and so we're trying to think of names, like trying to bring Smith or something into it like that, and Lynn just said Sunken Ship, and we're like, yeah, I like that. That fits. That works. We could build off of that, and then we just built off of that.
Wow.
It came
Away
together
we
pretty
went.
easy, yeah.
And so that was before you, it has nothing to do with the building.
No,
Nope.
Wow.
no.
Nope, just the nautical theme that we were
Yeah.
after.
Okay,
Yep.
cool.
So how did you get the ship?
That came with the property when we bought it.
Okay, I didn't know if you asked, like, hey, can we just keep that?
Well, that big one that was there for years, people knew that place because of that boat that was there for years.
Yeah.
That one we had to have, we tried figuring out a way to incorporate it or, make it into something outside, and it was just too much at the time that we were building out and trying to get everything else done, that we're like, okay, we'll work on that project later.
So
Yeah.
many ideas
Yes.
with that big monster.
Oh,
yeah.
We just could not get away from a boat on land with alcohol.
Right.
Liability problems, yeah. Yep.
What could go wrong?
Yeah, what could go wrong?
Yeah, so we had that one removed.
Okay.
And then we got a smaller one in there something a little more manageable.
One we found over in Becker.
Okay.
Really
Yeah.
cool little ship.
And it's
I just love
perfect,
it. Yeah. I love the whole look of the building and the color choices. It's such a nice look for Princeton, especially you're coming off of 169. And,
Yeah, you
you
can
know, that's
spot
one of
it.
the first things that you see. So thank you for bringing that to Princeton because that's,
So welcome.
we love it. And I'm glad for myself that Zimmerman didn't work out.
Exactly, same.
Because I love the Sunken Ship Brewery.
Yes.
Later on in the night, this is a running joke I have with a friend, but they had asked where I was one night, and I said I was at the Dunkin' Sup. So that's what I call it now.
It was really good.
The Dunkin' Sup, not used to the alcohol content. So, with that being said, how do you guys decide the flavors you're going to brew? You want to talk about the brewery part of it?
Yeah. Well, our head brewer is Bobby Blasey, and he is from here in Princeton. And it was kind of a cool story how we met him. You know, we're so lucky to have him. He is an amazing guy, amazing brewer, and he comes up with all of the ideas. He's been brewing for 14 years, and he's perfected it. I think it's wonderful. But the way we met him was we were out one night trying to figure out what we were going to do for a brewer because we knew that we wanted to hire someone. And we were looking and ran into somebody at the golf course and said, "Oh, hey, my neighbor's a brewer, you know, did you want to talk to him?" And we're like, "Yeah, sure, we'll talk to him." Well, we met him in Zimmerman one night, and it clicked. It was just like perfect. He fit into the family. He, you know, wanted to have a brewery in his hometown, and it just worked. It was great. Yeah.
So where was he brewing before?
So he started out at Liftbridge Brewing, interning down there, and then he went to Mankato Brewing. He was there for a few years, and then he helped open Able Seed House in northeast Minneapolis. And then he was at Spiral when we met him, Spiral Brewing in Hastings.
Okay.
And all this time, he was driving back and forth to all of these places to work from
He lived
Princeton.
here the whole time.
Yes.
Oh, I bet
So
he was so excited about that.
What a
excited.
dream.
Yeah.
That was a tough
Yeah.
decision.
I
I'm
know,
sure.
right? What? A brewery in my hometown? Okay.
Yeah.
What am I going to do with all my extra time?
Right. Exactly.
So do you have
Yes.
kind of a team, or is he just kind of the decider and then you guys taste, or is there kind of a,
Well, when you launch a brewery, bringing it to a specific location, you got to be very aware of how you can meet the needs of that place right from the get-go. And we have a lot of beers that we'll be bringing on tap, but the original ones we were bringing were meant to cover all of the basic areas as we pull the town along into, the flavors and what a brewery is and the different tastes that are out there. We had to have our light beer to match that, and then we had to have a really strong IPA to match that. And then as our tap list was building out, we just brought those flavors along in different areas so people could do what you do at a brewery, which is sample different beers. Yeah. So as we were building those flavors out, it was all meant to appease and have something for everybody that was coming to a brewery. Those people that have been to breweries for 30 years and those people that were brand new to breweries. We had to be very mindful of what was actually coming onto our taps just to kind of meet all of those niches along the way. So,
Yeah.
and do you notice that, I'm sure you get talking to people in the brewery, and do you notice that you're bringing a lot of people from outside of Princeton into the brewery?
Yeah.
Every day.
Yes.
Every day people
Yep.
are making trips up here. So
And
we,
a lot of new people that have never been to a brewery before, too.
Okay.
So it's kind of fun. Yeah.
And we love this as the This is Princeton committee. Our goal is to get people in, come and spend money and tour here.
Yeah.
And so that's awesome. Every time I go there, there's so many people that I don't recognize
Right.
that, might be from Princeton, might not. I'm not sure, but, you're meeting new people and you're seeing new faces and people just relaxing. And
Yeah.
why don't you talk about, like, the atmosphere and how the food and the games and why a family would want to go
Dogs.
there.
Yeah,
Dogs,
dog,
yeah.
we're dog friendly.
Dog friendly, yeah.
Inside and out. But yeah, we built the dog park outside just so people, we get a lot of people coming from the cities and going north on 169, and we want to pull them off of the highway here so that they stop, they get their gas, they get their groceries, they, stop and grab a few crawlers or growlers to go up north to the cabin or whatever, and they got a spot that they can let their dogs out to water because, everybody's traveling with them and they need somewhere to
They're
let them
part of
run
the
a little
family
bit.
this
Yep.
day and age.
I
So
know.
people just
Everybody
don't
is.
like leaving those home. But
Yeah.
we knew right on from the beginning that we really wanted to be a family-friendly
Yes.
place to hang out. Our family grew up, wonderful family. There were 5 brothers, 4 brothers, foster brother, and then Teresa was the youngest. So she got to learn all the wrestling moves. And but all of our gatherings through the Smith family, as we're growing up, consisted of 30 to 40 to 50 people, Easters and Christmases. And there's lots of strangers that came in and out through that mix. My mom and dad were always inviting people that had nowhere to go over to our family. So we're a very tight-knit family, but we're also very a welcoming family. And the atmosphere that my mother and father created, we wanted to try our best to project at this brewery. So from the get-go, we wanted to be very family-friendly, and I can speak from seeing it daily. People are very appreciative of that. And one of my favoriteest things that I've found so far is favoritist a word?
Favoritist?
Yeah.
It is now.
Yep. It is on the podcast.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's official.
Yes.
There you go.
Podcast official.
Is that after we opened, and we usually take a musician or two and a guitar, and we try to throw up a really neat vibe, welcoming vibe that we look for. We place them around the corner outside when we have our patio open, and a side effect of that was there's a green berm hill that we have out there that's sodded. And on that hill, I started to see more blankets and chairs show up with little kids, with brand new moms and dads, and their parents with it, all in a group. And they would sit for hours on end, enjoying music and talking. And to me, that was an eye-opener that, hey, we've done something really neat here. Let's really continue to push this family vibe that we're hoping to get here. And so far, it's been working really good.
We drive by there, and especially in the summer, and it's just packed outside. People are playing bags.
Yeah.
Kids are running around up and down that hill. There's music. It's just the vibe is so awesome.
Yeah, we try to bring in food trucks too on the weekends, and it's a little bit tougher in the wintertime for the food trucks because they're not running as much. But in the spring, summer, and fall, we'll have them all, on the weekends and stuff, and try to get a little variety of foods out there and stuff. So.
But even when you don't have food trucks, you're welcome to order.
Yep, welcome to order,
just to have it
delivery, or
delivered,
bring it in.
yep.
Bring in
It's
your own food.
amazing how the fingers of a brewery spread through a town.
Right.
So it's like, we try to incorporate anybody that can deliver to us. We have them on our menu, and we see it from all over the town. People ordering food and bringing it into our brewery and having it. We even see picnics there,
Right.
they bring
Yes.
in a picnic basket.
I was just going to say, I think it was maybe the last time I was there was a group of adults, maybe like 10 of them, and they were all couples. You could tell that they were close friends, but the table was filled with like appetizers
Yep.
and cheese and crackers, and everybody kind of brought, kind of like you just do a little potluck at somebody's house, but at a brewery instead. And
Yeah. You gotta love it.
Yeah, it's
that's
just
really
like you said, it's so welcoming and comfortable.
Well, that's what we wanted. So that was our goal, to create something that people just felt welcome coming in. Everyone is greeted when they walk through the door, and we try to make it comfortable for everybody. So.
It's a little funner than sitting at home.
Right, exactly, yes.
So talk about the employees.
So all the employees that work there.
God, those employees. Geez. We're having the same trouble every business out there is having.
No, our employees are awesome. No, they're all our
Cream of the
family.
crop.
So everybody that works there is family, except Bobby and his wife but they are included in our
Family
family
now.
now.
Yeah.
Yep. So they are part of the family now, but otherwise it's all our kids, nephews, nieces, it's just family that works there.
That's one of my favorite parts about
I
it.
agree.
Is that when you go there, you know that they're all a Smith.
Yeah.
You know, they come from the
Exactly.
family, and I love seeing Mama Smith there.
Mom loves to bust tables, and she
my
loves to
gosh,
go around
yeah.
and talk to everybody
Yes.
out there, and
So if you go in and say
Yes.
Smith, like, who
Yes.
are you going to get? Like, is everyone going to look?
Might be that.
Yes, you never know. And all the kids and everybody's kind of starting to look alike. And I don't know if it's your son. I think it's your son that I always think looks just like Jeff. And it's like, you guys all look so much alike. I don't know which one it is, but he's like, you always say that to me. I said, I know, I just can't get over it. So fun. So
Yes.
how are you guys, do you have any expansion plans or anything to make it
Not
bigger?
at this time.
No?
Not
Yeah.
at this time. We're just concentrating on building what we have there. So, and utilizing the space to the best we can. So, obviously, we're limited on space. When we went in there, they told us we had to put in a monster parking lot. We weren't very happy about that, but by golly, at the end, we're pretty thankful for that.
Right, yes.
Okay, yeah, they were right.
Yes, it does. It does.
Yeah, but expansion, we don't really have a lot of areas we can go to. So,
Okay, so you do have a room?
Yes.
And can you rent that?
Yes. Yep. We have a rent room that's just off to the left side. I almost knocked my microphone over. To the left side there, that we can fit probably 20, 25 people in.
Oh.
Nice little meeting room. It's nice for birthdays, little get-togethers, whatever. But yeah, you can
what
rent
do you
it.
have to celebrate?
$100 during the week, $200 on the weekends, for the evening.
But that's all refundable.
Yeah, if you spend that much in beer, then it's free. So.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so
What a great deal.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we've
We just
seen
wanna
neat
use
things
people.
come through there. I mean, it's so fun having the birthday parties and the
Yes.
celebrations and the
Yeah.
retirements, and we've had class reunions come through there, and it's just been
fun.
they
Yeah.
have so much fun just sipping on quality beer and,
Yeah.
and just talking.
And even, so talk about, so if a family was going to come in and have like a kid's birthday party in there, think like, oh, it's at the brewery.
Yeah.
But full of games,
Yes.
especially in the summer.
Board games,
Talk about
yeah.
what you have for kids as far as beverages and snacks.
We have craft sodas from Minnesota. What is it? Minnesota Sodas Company.
Oh, yeah.
That we have all kinds of flavors for them. We have sparkling waters and candy, snacks, all kinds of
snacks,
stuff. Yeah.
Lots of sugar for them.
Yep, plenty.
Board games, they're for them, and then we put out yard games in the summertime too and stuff. So lots of room for 'em to roam.
I love the board games.
Yeah.
Because, like put your phones away.
Yes.
And,
Yep.
and now you guys have just one TV in there, right?
We have two.
Oh, you do have
yes,
two.
So there's
Okay.
one above the bar and there's one over by the wall going out to the back patio.
Okay.
But we just try to
Try to keep them off.
Yeah, we try to keep them off. If there's like a local games on or something, sports, then we'll put them on. We'll put on, the Vikings on Sundays and stuff like that. But we try to keep it just local. Otherwise, keep them off and
Yeah,
right.
give
Keep those
people time to.
conversations going.
Yes,
That's right.
It's all about
time to talk,
conversation. Yeah.
yes.
Yep.
If we could just get the world to have a beer and relax,
That's right.
the world would be a much
Set
better
your phone
place.
down.
Yes.
Yep.
Yep.
Get off
Exactly.
the screens. Yeah.
Well, should
Speaking
we-
of beer.
Yeah, should we take a break and get set up for our tasting, and then we can talk about events and other things you guys have coming up?
That sounds good.
All right.
All right, we're going to go to a quick commercial break, and then we'll be right back.
Most Americans get their electricity from large corporations that care more about turning a profit for their stockholders than taking care of their customers. But your community is served by a different kind of utility, a utility you own. Today, more than 2,000 communities across the country get electricity from public power utilities like yours. We're community-owned and not-for-profit, so we make decisions with you in mind. And we give back to our community because we live and work here too. Public power puts the power in the hands of the people. So speak up. We're eager to hear from you. Stop by a city council or board meeting to share your views.
We brought in 4 different ones today. So one of our sour beers is called Dark Currant. It's obviously got a currant flavor to it. It's very good. We got a Trolling for Likes, which is our hazy IPA. That's one of our newest ones. We brought in a minimum weight hard seltzer. The flavor on this one is Pog, passion fruit orange guava. And then we brought in our raspberry reef, which is our dessert stout, and that one is a raspberry vanilla flavor.
Ooh.
Yes.
Actually, 2 of the 4.
Really? So I'm such an Odyssey girl.
Yep.
I'm
Bud
a,
Light
I'm
beer.
a Busch Light.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, so we knew that coming
knew
into
that,
the town of
yes.
Princeton, that we have a Busch Light town, a Miller Light town, a Michelob Light town. So that's the design of that beer, but has both rice wheat in it. So we're looking to pull people along that like that light, crisp flavor with our Odyssey. Uncharted Odyssey
Yeah.
is the name of that. And
then you
it's a
always
very,
leave that
very
on the
popular
menu.
beer.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that'll be our one of our mainstays.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's delicious.
All right, I'm cracking the dark currant.
Here we go.
Ooh. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Oh, that's a nice sound, too.
Yes.
Which kind is this one?
For those
This is
who
the
are-
dark currant, and it's a sour beer.
So for those who are listening and not watching, this is like a,
Looks like cranberry juice.
yeah, it's
Almost
really
does,
red.
yeah.
It's really red.
Ooh, it smells good.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
So this one is, so our sour beers, you kind of got to take a couple sips of it, because the first one is going to kind of shock your taste buds. And then the second drink, you'll be able to taste it a little bit more. Yep.
Cheers.
Get more flavors. Cheers.
It almost smells like a little wine.
Uh-huh.
Ooh. Yep.
Yep.
I get
Oh,
the
yeah,
wine.
yeah, there you go. Mhm.
Yep.
That's my favorite part.
I know. I love that too.
Seriously, my favorite.
Yes.
You like
I feel so
really
bad
sour?
when people come up there for a sour beer and they ask for a sample of all our sours. It's like, well, that's kind of the funnest part of a sour beer is that first sip.
Yeah.
It gets everybody just in the back of the jaw.
Yes,
so
it does.
we try to talk them out of it. It's like, oh, you might want to just order one of those sour beers and enjoy it for itself,
Yep.
what it is.
Right.
I think it's probably the first thing I get at a brewery is I'll start with the
sour.
sour.
Really?
Really?
Very popular.
This
Very
is
popular.
really good. And the name of this again is
Dark currant.
Dark Currant.
Why do you start with sour?
That reason of my taste buds exploding.
Yep. Uh-huh. It hasn't been tainted yet. You can taste that
Interesting.
that first taste. Yeah.
Was that your first taste of a sour?
No, I did exactly what you just said. I went up because I
Not to do?
No, yeah, I did. We were just there, and I always get the Odyssey, the Uncharted Odyssey. So I thought, I'm going to try something different. So I talked to whoever it was, and it might have been you, Teresa, and I got a tray of them, a flight.
Yep.
Or wheel, yeah. So I think I probably did try this, but I ended on like the most sour.
Oh, yep.
So then it was just like, I don't know if I could do it. Yeah, like if you start with that,
Sure.
it was like a orange or a tangerine or a grapefruity.
You have a couple
We have
sours on the
we have
menu,
3
right?
different sours. Yeah. Right now we've got a Midnight Skydive, which is a Andean blackberry, and then we have the dark currant, and then our third one is the Heaps of Fun, which is a dark cherry. And that one is probably the least sour of the 3. It's a little more sweet.
Yeah, I was not expecting, first of all, I was not expecting it to be this color. It's really pretty.
Isn't
Very
it?
pretty beer.
And you're right, though, about the tasting, that first that hits you, but then
Yep.
if you keep,
It is so good.
it's
Yep.
so good.
Second, third, fourth sip, it just changes, doesn't it?
It does
Yes,
change.
it does.
And for those of you listening, if you're not that beer, you don't love the taste of beer, this would be a perfect one because
Yep, the sours are
Yep.
little, they're not beer, your traditional beer tasting. Yeah.
So how is that, I mean, is the brewing, and maybe you can't answer this, because you're not the brewers, but about, you don't think of this as a beer. But it's brewed. Same with your
is.
seltzers.
Correct.
Yes, it is. Yep.
Yes.
And then, so is this similar brew to a seltzer? Or is it similar brew to a beer? Or is it all the same?
They're all a little different. I can't tell you the whole science on it, but I know that the seltzers are considered a beer because they've got the yeast in it as well, so they ferment like a beer. But the sours are a different. I couldn't
yeast.
tell you how to.
Type of yeast in them.
Other type of yeast.
Yeah.
Interesting. Huh. Yeah, it's really neat. Very good.
Delish.
Yeah.
Which is the fun of a brewery.
Right.
So, I mean, when you go in there, it's all about the experience.
Yeah.
So when people take our flights of beer, that's the fun of them, that not everybody is going to like everything on that flight. But the idea is, give it a taste.
Right.
Try
It's
something
something
different.
new.
You
It's
might
something
like it.
different. It's handcrafted by a master that's making them, and really knows the art so well that it's just fun to visit different breweries just to try.
Yeah. And your flights come on a wheel.
Yep,
Yes,
helm
they do.
wheel.
Little helm wheel.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yep. And so how many do you get on a, I've had one before on Ryan's
Sure,
21st.
up to 8.
Yeah, up to 8,
Yeah,
okay.
but we don't limit people at 8. They can have 16.
You can have a couple wheels.
We'll call the cab.
Right, exactly.
So the color of the beer, I want to hear about that because I was just talking to a friend over the weekend and she was talking about the flight and she said she was looking at them, they all had different colors and she said the darkest one, she said it was just dark colored and I would be like, ooh,
Yeah,
that would not be
sure.
something that I would love. And she said the same. She said it was my favorite.
I know.
It's
It's
amazing.
so different. Yeah.
It is it's amazing how you judge a beer
Absolutely.
by looking at it.
Yes.
The first thing that happens, you are judging that beer by the way you're perceiving it. Yeah. What it's going to taste like.
Completely.
Yes.
Yeah.
So then I thought, I'm going to try that.
And you
And
really would have
Good.
tried that.
I maybe not. I would not, definitely not have ordered a whole glass of this. And
Sure.
I will now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For
it's
people
good.
listening that don't usually go to breweries but maybe want to try one out or try the Sunken ship, what's like the best route for them to know what to order? Like, how would you suggest someone for the first time coming to a brewery?
I always ask the beer tenders. They're able to guide you and answer your questions. It's kind of a start with what do you like to drink, and then they can kind of steer you in the direction of what our beers are that would maybe appeal to you. So. Otherwise, we suggest the flights just so they can try a bunch of different ones, and maybe they'll find something that they like and want to order a full pint of or something.
And wouldn't
so,
have thought, like
yeah.
you said, to order that.
Sure.
Yep.
Or that they like it. Because
Exactly.
it's based on, it's
Yep.
judged on the look.
Exactly. Yep.
This, I
Yeah.
just can't get over the color. It's so pretty.
Very nice. And all Bobby's beers are just so light, crisp, and clean when they come out. He does a wonderful job with
Yeah.
his beer.
Yeah.
Bobby's beer. He
Bobby's
needs
beer.
a
Bobby's beer.
Bobby's
Yeah.
beer. Yes.
Or we refer to him as Gandalf.
Yeah.
The things he creates, he is a master of his
Yeah,
trade. And
he
one of
is.
the neatest things about Bob is that he loves his craft so much, and it's all about getting quality and consistency with him. Every beer that he turns out, he tries. His knowledge behind what he does is really. When we refer to him as our Gandalf, it's true because he's a master of that craft, and he wants to get better and better and better as he goes. So, he's just a.
How fun for
He was a
him.
Yes.
godsend.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, really neat to
Yeah.
be doing this in his hometown.
No
Yeah.
kidding. And then just to experiment,
Yes.
and with the things he wants to try.
Yeah.
That's so
Yeah.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you got next for
rinse
us?
these out, or would it be all right?
If you're all right with them.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was one question I had. Like, when you go to wine tastings, you cleanse your palate with
Yep.
a cracker. Should you be doing that?
You can. We have pretzels. I mean, that help
For
with
that
that, too.
reason.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I always have wondered that.
Yeah.
If
Sure.
you're supposed to be like snacking on something just
Yeah.
as you're switching different flavors.
Yeah, when you
If
go
you
to
want.
beer festivals,
Yep.
it's very, very common to see pretzels strung in a necklace around somebody's neck.
Yes.
And that's the reason
Yes.
for it.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of
It's
cleanse
not
the
to keep you
palate a little
sober.
bit. Yep. And then
didn't know
you
what was
get a
going on
good-
there.
Yes.
Get a good taste on the next
It's
beer
not just
coming
because
up.
they're hungry.
Yeah. I was like, they must have kids.
Yeah.
I had my friend's birthday party and the theme was Oktoberfest. And my sisters made pretzel necklaces. This is odd, but okay.
Yes. Yep, that's why. All right, so now we're going to try the trolling for like this is our hazy IPA. This is a East Coast hazy.
Okay, I expected
Little
that one
yellow.
to be super dark.
No,
Because it's an IPA, I always think of as dark.
really?
Yes.
I'm making a mess
Oh,
here.
beautiful
Tablecloth here.
looking beer.
Oops, sorry, this mine.
Yep. Thank
Oh
you.
yeah, I can smell right away that's what I think of when IPA.
Yeah,
You look,
What am
you
I-
smell,
what am
and
I
then the
smelling?
taste comes through.
Hops.
the hops.
The
Yeah.
hops.
Yep.
Okay.
So this one has Citra and Mosaic hops, which is kind of the traditional hazy IPA hops. There's a huge variety of IPAs, but this is kind of like a throwback to the traditional.
I'm tasting almost like a spice.
Very flavorful in there, isn't there? And the
Yes.
citrus really comes through on it.
Yep, this would be a sipper for me.
Yeah.
It's strong. It's like a
It's
strong
yes.
taste.
And I think that that's, people that like IPAs like Chad, my husband. He loves the hops.
Yeah.
That's his favorite thing to taste in a beer. So this is his,
That's why he likes IPA. Okay.
the hoppy taste of it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a lot of flavor.
There is a lot inside of that beer.
Yes.
There is.
Harder to drink as fast as the current.
I can manage.
And if you do, be careful.
Hey, we have to.
Darn.
Two more to test.
Yes.
So I was going to bring up too that you guys were kind enough to host the Chambers Puzzles Pizza and Pub Night.
That was so fun.
Oh, I'm so glad I got COVID the night before, so I couldn't be there. So that was really a bummer.
Both missed it.
So, but one of the things that we had planned for it was to allow the teams to order 4 of their own beers. So for those that don't know, it was teams of 4 had to be the first to finish a 300-piece puzzle, eat a large pizza, and drink 8 beers.
Yes.
And they got to choose their first 4, and then you all chose their second 4. So
Yes.
how was that? How did that go with people?
It was fun. They
Uh-huh.
loved it. Yeah, everybody had a blast, and they were so into it. I mean, they had like designated people that were, you're eating pizza and you're drinking the beer and I'm doing the puzzle, and it was just like the competition
Yes.
was fun to watch. It was.
And that first round,
Yeah.
they finished in less than 40 minutes.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yep.
But I
cannot
did see a
try
video where
Lots of
this-
competition.
Yeah, because one girl, I thought it was maybe a sour. It was in kind of a
Tulip.
yeah, and it was like, we got it, and she had that beer sitting there, and she just go done.
Oh my. Can't touch this down.
Thought it was you guys do the puzzle.
Yeah. So that looks like. So
But that
thank you for
turned
that.
out
but-
great. I mean, how fun! And people, I had so many people ask us, when are they doing it again? When
Yeah.
are they doing again?
We're
that was
talking
so
about
fun.
that
Yeah.
actually. Tomorrow
So.
we're gonna have a meeting about planning to see if we can do another one. So we'll
Good.
be in touch.
All right.
Were other people able to come in and just kind of watch?
Yeah.
And just
Yes.
like, what's going on?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they did. Yeah, they all did. They had fun.
We definitely have to do 1 or 2 more.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any upcoming events?
We sure do.
Yes, we do. We try to have a food truck and somebody playing music at least once a week. We have
Through the
coming
summer,
up,
that'll
yeah.
be picking up too. As the
Exactly.
spring,
Yep.
summer, as we open
Yep.
our patios out there, we plan to have a
It's
lot
gonna
more,
happen
lot more
eventually.
music happening. Yeah.
Thursday night we have Kevin's Euros food truck up there, and then on Friday is our St. Patrick's Day party. So we'll have the honey pot will be up there, and then we'll have some fun and games and green beer and some
All the good stuff.
Yep,
Yeah.
specials on our Aaron sweater, our stout. So we'll have a lot of stuff going on that day. So
And just on Friday,
Yeah.
or are you going to continue that the whole weekend?
that'll be on Friday.
Okay.
Yep, that'll be Friday night.
Which beer are you gonna color? The Odyssey?
The Odyssey. Yep.
fun.
Yeah, and it's not an easy process.
it's
It took us a
not.
while to figure out how we can do that without affecting our flavor. Because number
Yep.
one is quality of our beer,
Yeah.
and we just did not want to touch the flavor of it, no
Right.
matter what we do. So,
So you're telling me it's not just food coloring?
no, it's not. Oh, no.
Some
Yeah.
bars get like certain, or glasses.
Yeah.
And then it just, you pour the beer in there and then the glass like turns green.
Oh, gotcha.
That's out there somewhere.
It's fun stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
I
a
like
lot
this
of
one.
them. I do too.
Yeah.
Glad you like it.
I like it better with every taste.
It's not too
almost
much.
feel like
Yeah.
a throw. Your
It's nice
palate
and
has
easy
grown.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
It's not overpowering.
That's a good
Yeah.
way to
Because
explain
when
it.
you, if you get an IPA that's way, I don't know, too hoppy
Yeah.
or
Sure.
like too piney
Yeah.
or
It gets
Yeah,
kind of
everybody
bitter.
pushes
Yep.
the limit. You know, breweries are always trying to find that new next great thing by pushing that limit. But there's something to be said by going to a throwback that's just a really delicious, wonderful beer.
Yeah, I wonder if, you said this is fairly new.
Yep.
trolling for
Yeah.
likes.
Trolling for likes.
It's got
Trolling
this
for
like.
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah, I give it the
Thumbs
like
up on that one.
All right, next.
Next. All right. Next, we're going to the Raspberry Reef. So this one is a dessert stout. So it's sweeter. It is dark, but it has a lot of flavor to it.
So what makes it a stout?
The malt bill.
Ingredients inside
Yes.
it. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I don't know that I've ever had a stout before.
What?
Because you drink with your eyes.
Oh, so is,
Exactly.
is like,
Yes, you do.
Is Guinness a stout?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Because now, as for those of you listening and not watching, as it pours, it almost looks like root beer.
Yeah, it's
And
Very
it's
dark.
creamy. Yep. Thanks, Teresa.
Beautiful head on top of it.
Yeah. Looks like a Barks root beer.
You can see it on the table.
So it does have a little red tinge to it from the raspberry.
I can smell the sweetness.
Yep.
I would never have thought that. People, you have to try.
Oh, yeah.
It smells like when you open up a box of chocolates.
Yes.
And you're like,
Yep.
Oh, yeah, like a raspberry
Yeah.
chocolate.
Sure.
Yeah, it does. Chocolate covered raspberry.
Yep.
Oh, that is delicious.
Isn't that something?
Yes.
Very special, very nice.
Way to go, Bobby.
I know.
Hey,
And it's not,
Bobby!
yeah. And it's not super heavy like you would think that it looks like it would be.
Right.
Like dark beer, and I always think of them as super heavy and, thick and stuff, but they're not. His stout, too, is Aaron Sweater, is very light.
It's Chad's favorite.
Very
are they-
surprising. He's been tweaking that
Yes.
recipe professionally 14 years, and nothing pokes out hard on you during that stout. It's just caramel and
yeah.
chocolate and coffee, and it's really, really a wonderful, wonderful beer.
Yeah.
Now, when we were there on Saturday, we tried the peanut butter PB
PB Reef.
Reef.
Yep.
PB Reef.
Good.
Yes.
peanut butter is like
Yes.
one of my favorite
Yeah.
stouts. Peanut butter stout. Yeah.
Have you had that one?
Not.
Oh, you've got
You have to
it.
try
It
that
is
one. It's
so
really good.
Who
So
came onto
I-
I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, I assume that the darker the beer, the more alcohol content. Is that true or myth?
That is not true. That is a myth.
That is
Yes.
Busted.
Mythbuster, I love being
Yes.
Mythbuster. What about the calories?
We don't talk about
No.
calories. They're all
Yes, we're
calorie
sipping
free.
beer.
Come on, Mary.
That's right.
Yes.
I just think of it as just being so thick and
Yeah.
syrupy, but it's not.
But this is a dessert beer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is one, like, what kind of food would you pair this with?
Chocolate cake.
Steak, chicken, fish, everything.
Yeah, just like a
But yeah,
meat,
more of
potatoes,
like a-
meal,
yeah.
and
It's like what you would have a
And
red
then-
wine with. I feel
right,
like.
yeah,
Yes.
same.
That's very good.
I would almost enjoy this taking this camping and like
Yes.
around the campfire at night, like
Yeah.
having a dessert.
Yep.
Yep, pull it
Beer
out
like this.
Yep, it'd be
That'd
fun.
good.
cool.
Am I
Oh, good.
tasting any coffee flavor in this or not?
You can pull it out there if you look for it. People, if you keep tasting, keep trying, keep looking, the original, our stout, yeah, you can pull coffee out of it also.
I feel like
In
there's
the background.
a hint of it.
It's more like the aftertaste, like after everything settles. But
I love
obviously, like
coffee,
that
so-
95% of it is that
The raspberry.
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 Mhm.
Raspberry
And
vanilla.
that's kind of what Bobby really tries for is if we're advertising something, some flavor, something that we're doing with this beer, we want people to be able to pull that out. We're advertising it, we want it to be flavor forward. So people go, oh, I got it. Yes, I can taste that.
And what do you advertise this one as? Vanilla and?
Yeah, raspberry, vanilla, caramel,
Okay.
chocolate.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just have to think vanilla.
And caramel.
Sure. Yeah, we just had a Firkin festival over in Buffalo. That was really a phenomenal festival. And Firkins are just really, if you think of a keg, think of a really small keg.
Okay.
Yep, so these really small kegs, we had 7 breweries over there that brought these Firkins over to it. And what we brought over to that one was a coconut marshmallow. And our second one was the
Chocolate covered cherries.
chocolate covered cherries. And we didn't know what it was going to taste like until we cracked it open and we pulled it out there, and both of them were delicious. They were so good. We had people, we had people coming back on the whole festival going, oh my God, you guys got the best beer here. That is so good.
Will that go on the menu, the coconut marshmallow?
At some time.
Maybe. Yeah, it was delicious. That was my favorite. It was kind of like a macaron.
Yes.
Those, coconut caramel chocolate.
Oh,
It
I
was
love
delish.
coconut.
That's so
So
good.
good. I know.
Yeah, and fun. Just different, just
Like
different.
the pina colada, I think, don't you have a pina
Yes.
colada flavor
Well,
seltzer?
we
You
we
kinda-
do in the summer.
Okay,
So
I've
we
had
kind
that.
of we've kind of switched our flavors up a little bit for the winter time.
Yep.
We got some more darker flavors like our blackberry, cranberry, pomegranate for wintertime, and then in the summer we'll bring back the pineapple and the coconut
Yes.
and the raspberry, strawberry, rhubarb.
I do too, I love the pear, because you said about the beers being crisp.
Yes.
That pear, I don't know, I know it's the
Refreshing.
seltzer, but it's
Yes.
so crisp.
Yes.
And it's so good.
Yep.
Yeah, the seltzers
agree.
are
In the
great.
summer.
You have to try the seltzers plain, like with no flavoring in them. They are so good. Like
Talk
He's
about
been
that.
he's
How do you
been
flavor
tweaking
them?
those his recipe for years now,
Yeah.
professionally, and what he does with the seltzers are absolutely phenomenal.
they're so clean.
It's basically can be a simple recipe to do, but Bobby's seltzers that he pulls through here, we're getting ravings from across the state, from out of state, talking about the seltzers that are being generated at Sunken Brewery.
Yeah.
Really doing a great job, great recipe with them.
Yeah.
So plain, what would
the
you-
minimum weight is a little bit sweeter. That's a little bit lower ABV on that one, so it keeps the alcohol content lower.
And that's what you call the minimum.
That's the
You're
minimum
saying
weight.
plain, it would be
Yes.
sweet?
The plain is
Okay.
sweet, and it almost tastes like a hard Sprite.
Oh.
Yeah. So
Really?
Yep. It's
I didn't
got
know you
that.
could order it
You
plain.
can order it plain. Yes,
would
and
like
it's
that.
delicious. It's
Give it a
really,
sip.
it's
Yeah.
really like refreshing. It's just no flavor to it. And then the maximum wake, which is the higher ABV. That one is a little bit drier, so it's a little more like a vodka soda or something like that, but
Like
still,
soda
it's-
water.
yes, but it's so clean and it's so refreshing.
I'm gonna
Just
try that.
So that was
Yeah.
my first wheel, actually, at your
Was it?
guys's. Yeah.
Was it all seltzers?
Yep.
Yeah.
And I did with like no flavoring or
Yeah.
whatever. That was my first one because they're like, you should start with this one, and then we'll go down the line.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, let's just do all of them.
okay.
And
There
it was,
you go.
it was
Good.
amazing. Yes.
What was your favorite flavor? I mean,
It
you
was
said
like
you
a-
tried it plain?
Yes.
Okay.
So I tried that and that was great. But I don't remember which one it was. It was like an orange tint to it.
Blood orange?
Yes.
Or the
Blood
pog?
Oh, I don't remember.
Maybe
I
the
remember.
Well, we're going to
the-
try the
Try
pog
the
next, so
Okay, well,
maybe
then
it
I'll let
might
you
be.
know,
Yeah,
but-
okay.
Yeah, it was one of those two that was like, it blew me away.
But
Good.
and sometimes when you're sitting at the brewery for hours,
Mm-hmm.
and and then after a while it might get too sweet.
Yep.
So I can see where then you could just have a maximum
Yes.
weight.
Yep.
Heaven forbid you just drink plain water. But then you can like
Not at a brewery.
Not
Not in the brewery.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is good, though.
Now,
Yes.
you do have a water cooler.
We do have
Yeah.
We do.
Okay.
Yes, we do.
You have one for humans and one for dogs.
Correct.
Yes, we do. Yeah.
Yes.
Which is
That's
awesome.
awesome. It is.
I have a question about dogs. We were talked about when you bring your dogs there, if you're going to meet a friend there and you're both going to bring your dog, and you put them out in the play area, do you have to stand out there with them? Like, what is the rules?
Yeah,
Yes.
they need to be supervised, so.
Okay.
Yep. I mean, you can let them off the leash in the kennel.
park,
Yep. But you have to be out there with them.
You do have to be out there. Okay,
Yes.
that was my question, because I thought, there's no way I'm bringing my dog there. Because my dog does not. I have a doodle, a Springer doodle, and she's the most friendly dog, but she doesn't do well on a leash. And my friend Jamie's like, let's meet there with our dogs. And I'm like, no way. I'm bringing my dog to the brewery.
No,
So
it's
many
great.
people do. Yeah. Oh, I love it.
We
There's
do.
so
and
many
we,
pups
and we
in
want
there.
them to socialize. You know, we want to get dogs used to hanging out
Yes.
with human beings
just
and
saw
how
on
to
Facebook.
behave when that's going on.
Yes.
Somebody had a
And-
puppy there the other day.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
that's what that was. Their goal was to socialize them.
Yeah.
Yes, yep.
Yep.
And we see that a lot. They
A
bring the
lot.
puppies in again and again and again just to get them socialized.
used to them. Yep.
We found out early on while we were building the business that it was a nice thing. Somebody said, hey, I was to this one park where they had it for smaller dogs and for larger dogs because my small dog is scared of everything. So then we put a divider down the middle of our dog park, and it's for dividing dogs up. If you have a more aggressive
Yep.
dog or a more timid dog, the owner gets to pick, what side of he wants them to go in
Yeah.
on.
Nice.
Yep.
Okay.
We just got a puppy, so we've talked about,
Oh,
in fact,
yes.
when we were there over the weekend, we thought, I wonder how he would do here.
should
But it's a good way to socialize.
It is a good way to socialize.
Sure.
Yeah, and they get to meet a lot of,
And he's at a good age right now,
Yeah.
too, where he's just still cuddly and.
And he's in puppy school, so he's learning things. That's a good way to socialize him.
Sure.
I need to get Patsy and.
Bring him to our poop deck. There you go.
That's going to be a social post.
All right, so we have the hog.
The last one is the Pog Seltzer, so this is our minimum wake. It's a little bit lower in ABV, it's a 4.9, so.
What were the others?
The Dark Current was a 4.8. The Raspberry Reef is a 5.9, and the Trolling for Likes is 7.3.
Oh, boy.
So that's a little bit higher.
After this one, we'll all be giggling. When people come up for the third one, we typically say, be careful.
That's
Yep.
right.
Did we say it's 5 o'clock?
Thank you.
You're welcome. I mean, in the brewery, we'd give you new glasses, but.
Yes.
No, this is fine.
Absolutely.
You guys are so good about that, and I always go up there. I'm like, just use my same glasses.
No.
That's not allowed.
Protect the
Yes,
quality of the
exactly.
beer. Well, we do
It's all
everything
about
we
the
can so
flavor.
that flavor, that taste that you initially get from the beer is going to be what we want it to be. So we protect that quality at all costs.
Yeah. Every time I said, just use my same glass.
No.
Not even a question.
Nope. They've all been trained.
No, I smell
like candy.
grapefruit.
It is so good.
Yeah.
I mean, just could go.
No, I'm trying to think. It looks like apple juice. I'm trying to describe what it looks like. Sparkling.
So we had a gathering going on where before we opened in December, and our brewmaster, Bobby, brought some of this to that party. And he said, here's the seltzers I'm going to be making. And I got it flavored with POG, passion fruit, orange guava. And he shared the glasses with us, and we poured it around everybody. Cheers! And then we all took a sip. It's like, oh my God.
What did you just bring?
Yes.
What is this?
This is
So
amazing.
good.
When can you make more?
Yeah, a hand goes on
Yes.
the shoulder.
Yes.
Tell me everything you know.
That's right.
It
was.
Minimum or maximum?
Correct.
Yes.
Any of the seltzers, you could say
Correct.
minimum or maximum.
Yes,
Okay.
so they all
One
come
is
plain.
sweeter,
Yeah.
one is drier.
Yeah.
If the alcohol content goes up, it tends to dry out the seltzer a little bit. So for the wine drinkers that we find, we tend to steer them towards a maximum wake with higher alcohol content, but it tends to dry the beer out more.
Is
Okay,
it less
I
sweet?
love-
Or it doesn't really matter because you're adding flavor?
You're adding the flavor to it. Yes, it's less sweet.
It is less
Yes,
sweet.
if you do the minimum
Yeah.
wake, it's more sweet with lower alcohol content.
Yep.
Oh, shoot,
And then we
'cause
have-
I love Cabernet.
Oh,
There
yeah.
you go.
And like
Yeah, they're both really
the
fun.
dry wines.
Yep.
And we have like 12 different flavors that you can add to it. So you can mix and match. I mean, I like to do the cranberry and the tart apple together and have kind of a cran apple.
We found that Sunken Ship Brewery is pretty unique
Yeah.
in our delivery of our seltzers. So we do have a seltzer bar that we have where you can pick any flavor that you like to pick out, and we'll make it there for you on the spot. And when that happens, we get quality control again of what that flavor is going to taste like. But the variety that we offer there, we found out is very unique for people being able to, choose.
Pick
Right.
what flavor they
different
want.
decisions.
Rather than
Yes.
only having one seltzer on tap or something, one flavor. So
Yeah.
this way
Right.
they kind of get to pick what they want.
Sunken Ship has that going for it. It's just
Yeah.
a seltzer bar that we have a bunch of flavors, whatever your flavor happens to be.
Seltzer bar, or do you advertise that? Like, is it
We
seltzer
tell
bar?
people as
Yes,
we're talking
yes.
about it,
Because you hear
yeah.
about like martini bar.
Yeah.
Sure.
That would be good marketing, I feel like, a seltzer bar.
Yeah.
The
There you go.
seltzers are so popular right now. Yeah.
Yes.
And they're continuing to grow. You'd think that it's, it's going to die out eventually, but it's just, we own a liquor store, and the amount of seltzers we have it's insane.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we got to combat that at the brewery. We got to say this is not a White Claw. It
Yes.
is so far from the flavor or the taste of what
Absolutely.
happens with a White Claw
Right.
compared
Yep,
to
or a
what we're putting
Truly
out
or
at Sunken
something.
Ship
Yep.
Brewery.
Oh,
It's
100%.
Yeah.
yes.
Because if someone comes in thinking it's going to taste like a White Claw
Yes.
or a Bud Light
We-
seltzer or
yes.
something, you're like,
We have
hang
had
on.
so many people that come in and go, I don't like seltzers. And we're like, no, you just have to just try one in your flight and then tell me if you like it
Yes.
or not.
Right.
They're so different.
So
Yeah.
different. This is so much more flavorful.
Yeah.
That's so good.
This is really good.
Exactly.
It's starting to get hot.
All right, Mary, which one was your favorite?
I think the currant was my favorite.
Nice.
Was it surprising?
Very surprising.
Very
Yes,
surprising.
I think that's something I would maybe start
I
with.
gotta see them all again.
Going to the brewery, just getting a currant instead of my normal Uncharted Odyssey.
Again, what's so enjoyable about those flights is you can like them, you can love them, or you can say, nope, that one wasn't number one for me. So
Yeah.
it's all about just tasting, simply tasting,
Or-
creations.
The flights are little 5-ounce glasses, so it's not like, it's a huge glass of it that you have to drink, and that if you don't end up liking it or
Right.
whatever, you can go to the next one
Right.
and find something
Maybe
else
I'm
that
gonna
you
be a
like.
flight girl.
Yeah.
from now on, just to keep trying.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Try
there's always
different
something
things.
different
Because
on the menu.
the IPA that I drank here, the more I tasted it,
Yeah.
the more I liked it. At first, it was like, oh, nope, this is like that strong hoppy flavor, but it's kind of like an acquired taste, I
Yes.
would imagine.
It's amazing you say that because that happens to most everybody at a brewery. The more they hang out at the brewery, the more likely they are just to try something a little different. And when they try something just a little different, they go, that's not what I thought it was.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. Pulling the town along. Here we go. Come on, you guys. Give it a taste.
Yeah. After dinner drink, if we stopped, I'd probably get a stout.
Yes.
And never in my life would I ever say,
Try the
I'd like
peanut
to have
butter.
a stout.
Right.
To everybody. Happens to everybody. Yep. In the
Try
beer
peanut
scene.
butter.
What was your favorite today?
Today, I would say my favorite was, I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I'm going to say the Trolling for Lakes. Because IPA is just
Yes.
usually not my cup of tea. I thought it was so good.
Thanks.
It was much, much lighter than I thought it would be. I really liked it. And I mean, you've made some good points about judging by the look.
Yes.
You'll judge
And
with your
yeah,
head.
Yeah. So I think I need to do the flights more often too.
What is your favorite overall since you've been there several times?
I've had so many different ones. I mean, I really like the seltzers,
Yeah.
of course, but and I recently tried the Odyssey because I don't usually like the same. I like the craft brews, so I don't really. But that is very.
I'm the one that
that
is
is a
more
really
flavorful.
good.
They
I
tease
feel
me
like
that
that's a
I
good
drink
mix.
water.
It is.
It's not like you're drinking a Miller Lite or a Coors Light.
No.
Or it's so much more.
More flavorful.
Yeah, it's just got more
Character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
So-
yet you can tell it's light.
but it's a little lighter. So, I order kind of depending on my mood and how I'm feeling that day. And, so I've tried a lot of different ones there.
Well, Zach's going in for.
So, what are you
So
going
this
for?
was my favorite.
Yeah,
The Trolling for
trolling.
Lakes.
The Trolling for Lakes, too.
Yeah.
That was your favorite,
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Yep.
I enjoyed it. It was good.
What's your favorite overall of everything you've tried?
Hey,
there?
when you tried this, what did this end up being the one that you were thinking of from the?
I find every beer like unique, and I think I found something that like for the what was it, the porters. I have come to like all the peanut butter ones or like a nitro flavor. I think that's always been my favorite. The IPA, I like this one honestly probably out of all the ones. There's like another one, I can't remember what it was called, but that one's top 3 for sure. And then I don't know, they're all good.
I mean, honestly, I would so recommend the ordering the flight because just because IPA is in that name, I would not have ordered it.
Sure.
Never.
Yeah.
Me
Just
either.
based on that.
Or stout.
Yep. Yeah.
Or porter. Like,
Yeah, no. And so,
Happens all
I
the
mean, I
time.
couldn't believe when you poured that in the glass. It looked like that. I was expecting it to look like the raspberry
Reef.
reef.
Yeah.
I can't remember that. Yeah. But the
Dark,
dark, yes. Because that's how I picture IPAs for some reason.
Sure.
Yeah, so I thought that was great. Well, this has been so fun, you guys.
It has
We
been.
really appreciate
Thanks
you
for
stopping by.
inviting us.
And
Well, I think we'll probably have you back.
Oh, good.
often.
So we'll be back next
What are you
week,
doing
right?
next week?
yeah, exactly.
Do you want to come and announce our events?
Right.
Record the next one.
Exactly. Yeah, this has been a lot
We'll
of
run
fun.
back to the brewery quick, grab
Sure.
a couple more cans.
That's right.
You know what? Forget it. We'll bring this to the brewery.
There you go.
That's what we need to do.
Set it
That's what
up.
we need to do.
Yes.
How good would that be?
Yes.
Doing a podcast
Yes.
from the brewery.
We'll be back
That'd
with
be
the
a
Dunkin'
hoot.
Sup.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it would end up being.
Well, we can't wait. And at Sunken Ship, we're more than happy. Anybody has any ideas to help us build our business, we're more than happy. Any way we can get our fingers out into that community, we're always looking for ways.
Yes.
That, I had a question about that. So there are the brewery, like, there used to be those, you could buy a passport.
Hop passport.
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah,
We
are you
just
involved in any of
we
that?
just we just signed up for that. So we are on the app now. So people will be able to find us on the app. It was too late to get into the printed one for this year.
Okay.
But we are on the
Good.
Hop Passport app.
And it's called Hop Passport.
Yes.
Okay.
So
People
can you,
around here do that.
what is that?
So it's a passport with all of a bunch of breweries. I think they have over 120 breweries right now on the Hop Passport
Minnesota?
in Minnesota, and they go and they get. Usually, it's a buy one get one free beer when they come in, and they get their passport stamped.
And it's like a passport.
Yeah,
Yes.
it is. Yep.
It's like a
People
passport book.
love it.
Yep. And if they come in with the app on their phone, you just, hit the button that they've been
Yeah.
stamped or whatever. So,
Awesome.
Yeah. So they can go around to a bunch of different breweries and try them out and
Yep.
And you pay for the passport, right?
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep, you pay for the passport and then you get
Very inexpensive.
yeah, it's
very
not,
reasonable,
Yeah, it's like
yes,
20 bucks or
yes,
25 bucks, something
yes.
like that.
And it
And
gets you out and forces
Yes.
you
That's right.
to go.
yeah, try different places.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How Princeton's going to become a spot on the map. There we go.
Yep, exactly.
This is Princeton.
Destination.
Stay here, drink here, play here.
Yes. Yes.
Absolutely.
It'll be your favoriteest.
Yes.
Yeah.
Favoritist.
Put it on the map. Thank you guys
Yes.
for today.
You're so
Thank
welcome.
you.
Absolutely.
Thanks for having us in.
Yeah.
Yes, it
been
was
fun.
great.
Until next time. Until next time, guys. This is Kim, Mary, and Zach signing off. Bye.
Hey, what are we going to do with the rest of the beer in them cans?
We'll figure it out.
I'm pretty sure you guys are giggling more now.
Fun.
The fun of a brewery.
Oh,
Just a
that's
couple
so
beers.
fun.
Yeah, if we could get the world.
Podcast produced by Kitzman Creations, music by Charles Moe. Be sure to subscribe to the Princeton Podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Also, to view our awkward moments, check us out on our YouTube channel and visit us at www.thisisprincetonmn.co.